That's the only time I thought in my life. I was like, if this thing goes off the road, I don't care. Tag team back again. Check in the mix. So let's begin. Easton, you know that?
Nope.
Gosh, dude, I can't start another episode like this. Welcome into the studio, everybody. Net Positive. Your boys in the interview seat. Let's go. Just got back from Philly, and it was unbelievable. You know, God says to go to the darkest places and bring the light of heaven, and that's what I was doing in Philly this weekend. And the Atlanta Falcons also went into Philly 2 nights ago and beat the Eagles on Monday Night Football. But we're not here to talk about that. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to Appleton, Wisconsin this weekend. I believe minimum tickets still available. Then we're starting a tour, baby. Jokes for Humans, Sarasota, Melbourne, Fort Lauderdale, and Jacksonville to end the month of September. Lima, Ohio, October 3rd. Shipshewana, Indiana, October 4th and 5th. 3 shows there. Saginaw, Michigan, Cheyenne, Wyoming, October 17th, 18th, Sioux Falls, Denver, October 19th. That show is almost sold out. Bakersfield on October 31st is going to be moved because that is Halloween. And apparently my fans are celebrate that. So
wait, what? What happened?
Lord. I know, dude. Like my agent called and he goes, "Hey, that like all the shows are like almost sold out except for this one." And he goes, "That's Halloween." I go, "Well, all my followers are Christian. They don't support that holiday, but apparently they do."
Wow.
So
it's like the polls. It's like the election polls.
Yeah.
They're like, "So do you celebrate Halloween?" They're like, "No," and then they go celebrate Halloween.
No. Yeah. No one. Yeah, but I think we're moving that one from Thursday to Sunday. So either they're gonna give you a refund if you want, or you can switch it to Sunday, and your kids can still go dress up as Elsa and get a Twizzler in the neighborhood. I'm just kidding. I'm not mad about it. Oxnard, California, Long Beach, and then we're going to Georgia, Savannah, Athens, Augusta, Bristol, the 7th through 11th of what's that? November. Then we're going to Texas, Midland, Lubbock, and Dallas. Those shows are near sold out. Dallas, we added a second. Lubbock's almost sold out. And then we're into the tour, Chicago and Davenport in December, baby. And I'm going to be well-fed and well-rested. Thank you to Hello Fresh, baby. They're sponsoring the podcast, and we love them, and that's how we're eating. If you're looking at me and think, dang, dude, that guy is well-fed, it's because of Hello
Fresh.
Thanks, Easton. Where were you? Nowhere. With HelloFresh, you got farm fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal receipts. Just kidding, recipes delivered right to your doorstep. Skip trips to the grocery store. Come on, dude. I was talking to this guy in the. I'll get to that later. And count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. That's why America's number one. That's why it's America's number one meal kit, baby. You want to impress a woman? Bring her over to your house. Get HelloFresh. Take it out of the HelloFresh wrappers and put it in like actual what's it called? Teaspoons and tablespoons.
Sure.
That's why I have HelloFresh because I don't know anything with that stuff. But them meals be hitting. We know home cooked meals are so much better for you, but you don't always have time to pull it off, do you, mothers? No. And I don't know why I said mothers in the kitchen. That was unnecessary. But with HelloFresh handling meal planning, shopping, and most of the prep, it's easier than ever to get dinner on the table quick and easy and painless. Choose a variety of menu options to suit your needs and taste, from fit and wholesome, quick and easy, or vegetarian to family-friendly. There's something for everybody. Easily customize your meals with protein or veggie swaps. And don't forget to check out HelloFresh Market for more delicious add-on items to jazz up your weekly deliveries. I went and checked the it's like Southern comfort food.
Oh yeah,
is the one I checked.
That's the one.
Because they're like, do you want like vegan or do you want like vegetables? And I go, man, I'm not trying to get all that. I'm trying to, because they customize it to whatever kind of eating habits you get.
Yep.
So I get one to be having a lot of meat, a lot of potatoes. But I think I would say HelloFresh would be top tier on the list of meals you're photographing.
Oh yeah, very Instagrammable.
Very. Then that's not in the copy.
Yep.
But you're gonna be like, this is what I'm eating tonight. Everybody's gonna be like, dang, dude, that girl is domestic,
wifey material.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's not in the copy. Nope. Sorry, HelloFresh. But you do. You take a meal and you're like, that looks so good. I'm gonna take a photo of that.
Yeah,
that's HelloFresh.
Phone eats first.
And I made this also, by the way. For free breakfast for life. What unbelievable. Go to HelloFresh.com/free net positive. One free breakfast item per box while subscription is active. That's free breakfast for life just by going to HelloFresh.com/free net positive. HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit. Fun episode of the pod today.
Great one.
We had our buddy, Cort McCown is in the house, fellow comedian. We talked a lot about comedy, the ins and outs of comedy.
Yeah, loved it.
Had some good laughs and reminisced some depressing times of our come up.
Yes.
Yeah. And everybody wants to hear about those stories.
They're the best, man.
Yeah, because everybody wants to hear about how did you get to here?
Yeah.
How did this all...
Love that you're doing theaters and all that. That's great. But tell me about the ones that were terrible.
This is cool, but tell me about the one where you almost committed suicide afterwards.
Where you would have been okay.
If you want to hear it, we'll get into it.
Yeah.
Unbelievable trip this weekend in Philly.
Good.
Gosh, unbelievable crowds.
Good.
And let me just say this.
Yes.
And this is going to be go against the thoughts of my fan base.
Okay.
I'll say that.
All right.
This is probably all the theaters we go to are for the most parts in downtowns of big cities. All of these cities are running very smoothly and very clean and very you know what I'm saying? Like, I think during COVID or post-COVID, everybody's like, these huge cities are a disaster, run by liberals. That's what you get. Everybody's on fentanyl. Everybody's getting to kill everybody. And every time I go to one, it's like, this is unbelievable.
Yeah. Funny what happens when you go outside.
I mean, I was talking with an Uber driver. I was like, Philly. I go, this place is gorgeous. And he goes, yeah. Every time on the internet, they show Kensington, like street or something. And also those videos are from like 2020.
Yeah.
It's like when COVID turned the world upside down, nobody really had a playbook. Nobody knew what to do. And I've been to now New York, Boston, Philly, Austin, all these whatever you call left-run cities. And I've been to all of them in 2020 and 2021. And now I've been back to all of them and they're all doing great.
They're great. I'm with you. I was in Philly a couple summers ago for a wedding. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome.
So pretty. So it reminded me a lot of Boston. So closer to home for me.
Beautiful.
Feels nice.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Game was awesome. I went to the Phillies-Mets game. It was unbelievable. Walked around, had a day of it.
Yeah.
Now, I will say one guy did I told this on my Instagram, one guy robbed the Wawa, and I tried to confront him.
Can't bat 1,000.
You can't bat 1,000. And everybody, I gotta thank the followers once again for bailing me out.
Okay.
Because Lydia said you should not confront a criminal.
I was one of the people who reached out and said the same.
You did?
Yeah, I said that's a great way to get shot, John.
Yeah. Well,
and
actually,
we have an episode to record.
A lot of people actually did say don't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he went in without in 30 seconds. I'll tell the story. He went in with a plastic bag, like a grocery bag, went right to the ice cream thing, opened it, just started throwing pints of ice cream in there, popsicles, candy bars, all of it. Turned around and walked out. I witnessed it. I was standing right there by the bakery. And if I would have been with someone else, Mandel was opening for me that weekend, or if anybody else would have been there, I probably wouldn't have done it. But I go, I'm going to follow him.
I don't know why you have that thought.
I don't know either.
I'm going to solve this.
I walked right out after him. I go, hey, man. And he turned around. I go, did you just take that? And he goes, it's none of your business, brother. And I go, have a good day.
You're right.
You know what? That is correct. It is none of my, I don't know. You know what? But I just didn't like that he was doing that.
When you put it that way, yeah, I guess it is none of my business.
I guess it is none of my business.
Yeah.
You know what, sir? Yeah. That's correct. Thank you for enlightening me. I just had to put a little bit of, I don't know.
I'm happy you made it out.
What am I trying to, a little bit of accountability in there or something.
I guess.
I mean, he was just so brazen.
Do you think when he was eating the ice cream later?
He wasn't trying to hide or nothing.
He went to take his first spoonful and he was like, oh, that guy was right. I shouldn't have stole this.
That guy was right, dude. He went into the nearest Catholic church, went into confession.
Yeah.
Exchange. Put
that
the ice
man
cream
became
back.
Barack Obama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're welcome, guys.
Yeah.
You never know what lives you're going to touch. No one's. Thanks, everybody, for coming out. Unbelievable. The weekend in Philly. We'll see you in Appleton this weekend. I doubt the same people would go from Philly to Appleton. A little different area of the country.
Yeah.
We can't wait to be up there. We love you. Here's Cort. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in, baby. Oh, I'm in the guest seat. No, I'm in the regular seat, but we got a guest in the house today, ladies and gentlemen. Alex Easton are here.
Hello, hello.
Cort McCown is here, everybody. Round of applause for him. Hey,
we love it.
Let's see. Comedian. Long since touring comedian. I'm a big fan of his.
No, really?
Moved to Nashville.
Yeah.
Yeah. Opens for everybody that I wish I could open for when I was starting as a comedian that I'm not friends with, and he was showing me a text conversation of him talking to Bill Burr, and I was like, get out of my car. I was like, you're friends with Bill Burr? And he's like, yeah, dude. And he just moved on from that. So I probably won't discuss that. Good friend of mine, fellow golfer.
Not a lot of trust. I had to show you the receipts. That's.
I go, you're not friends with Bill Burr? And he goes, yeah, I'm texting with Bill Burr. And I go, what?
How does Bill text?
Angry.
Yeah.
No, not. I'm kidding. No, he's a
Then
sweet
he's like
guy.
me. Then he's like me.
Is it all capital? All caps lock?
No.
He's maybe not angry. Is he just doing that?
Yeah. No, he's a very sweet guy.
God, dude. Yeah, it's just
But
like
he did that show. They did a show at the Caverns,
Oh, yeah.
which was really an odd place to do a
I've
comedy.
been, all right, it's like outside of Chattanooga, right?
What's that?
It's outside of Chattanooga?
No, it's in Pelham, so it's south.
Yeah, but it's kind of, it's like, do you know what it is?
Yeah.
Chattanooga's the
Kind of south, but it's not there.
Okay.
All right, we're in a fight about geography. Day one, already.
Well, I think if you
16
Google
seconds in.
map it, like Chattanooga's like a complete opposite direction.
But you go to south. Because everybody talks about doing a show down there. Because I always see it and you're like, what's it like? It would be sweet to do a comedy show there. It's like a cave.
It is a cave, but the weird part is it smells like a cave.
Yeah, it's like dirt. It smells like dirt.
It smells
you bring
like
up a photo of it?
It smells
Yeah.
like mold.
Yeah. And
But very cool place.
yeah, I heard it's like Red Rocks but underground or something.
Yeah,
But is it
without air and without.
But who does a show there? Who would be cool to do a show there? Like Coldplay or something?
I think there's a lot of people. Someone was saying like
Gosh, dude, I can't see
Big
it.
Head Todd and
Yeah.
I mean, there's like it's just a very cool place.
How many is it a seat?
They had seated. It was like 800. So
And it was
a
weird.
little
It's
big.
it's a weird show.
No, it's actually the acoustics of it because it's a cave.
Yeah.
is actually really good.
Turns out dirt on the walls actually is very helpful.
Yeah.
We've been wasting money building venues. We could just be doing this in caves.
Yeah, it was, but it had a musty smell.
Oh, like it's like an old
Yeah, so it's like odd.
I think there's always like, dude, everybody goes, we should do a show at that place, and then I think there it is. That's a better photo of it.
I think that was the first comedy show there. Usually,
Ever?
I think so. I think usually it's just music.
Brian Dorfman told me to do a show there, and then my agent said we're absolutely not doing a show there. Yeah, that's
Your following would freak out.
That's
because they're like,
disrespectful.
we're going down.
Dude, you're talking to the. What does that mean?
Huh?
You're going to. What do you mean?
Well, I mean, it's just odd. They're like going down.
My fans like to go up.
Exactly.
To talk to the Lord.
That's
baby.
what I'm saying.
Yeah. Don't
Is
insult.
it claustrophobic at all?
No, it's really big. I mean, you can see like in the photo you're posting right there. I don't know if people that are listening or watching can see this, but it's big.
Yeah.
But it's just an odd. You walk down this little runway and then you kind of go into this cave. There's big doors, and you walk in and it's just very cool looking. And
was he recording it? Or he's just
Dean
doing it?
Del Rey, a guy who
Oh
goes on the road with him.
yeah. He was doing it.
Dean recorded something there, but that's a perfect place for Dean.
Well, there's 100%. I think there's a list. Would you say of places that in theory are awesome for a comedy show, but then in practice everybody goes, "Oh, we should not have done this." And I'm not talking about Dean. That probably show is going to be great, but there's
it looked beautiful. It looked amazing.
There's a lot of places where you go, dude. Like somebody called me the other day. He goes, "Hey, we get some comics to come out and do an event at our golf course, and then we'll do free golf." And it's like, I know the thought. This is gonna be sick. And then like last night we were at some fundraiser at Chiefs down on Broadway, and they were like, "You should do it next year." And I'm constantly being like, No.
Chiefs has that one. It has that one
kind of theater.
That would be cool.
That would be sweet.
The worst gig I've ever done in my entire life.
Here we go.
This is the worst gig I ever did. So Rob Riggle, who's a good buddy of mine, does this charity event in Kansas City every year. He has this charity event. Wonderful people. Let me just specify that these are wonderful, wonderful people.
All right.
And they do this golf tournament, and then after the golf tournament night, they do a big event. It's a fundraiser where they, get money, and it's a big charity. Can't remember the charity, sorry. And then the guy goes, Rob recommended me to do stand up, and I said, well, now let's preface that, John knows I'm not what you would call a corporate comedian. I curse now and then. My material might be a little bit edgier than John's, just a touch.
I don't do the Hail Satan thing you do at the end, but other than that, it's
kind of like that. So I just said, I put it out there, and I said, he goes, oh no, we want it. You can
it's always go do
we're fine. Be as blue as you want to be. It's da 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 da. And I was like, okay, so. I go there, and the money is amazing. As you know, for corporate gigs, the money was really good. And so I was like, okay, good. And he's like, 45 minutes, you'd be great. And
I'm stressing already.
Yeah. And so I go to play in the golf tournament. I play with, I can't remember this Hall of Famer's name. He was a great fullback, short dude. He was just I think he played at Philadelphia.
Mike Allstott or something.
Anyway, so play this golf tournament, have a great day. And then that night he goes, we're doing the event at TopGolf. And I was like, okay, cool. So go to TopGolf.
The comedy show?
The comedy show at TopGolf. So I go to the thing. Yeah, you understand. You're getting this already. And so I go to the back to the hotel, shower, come back, and go to TopGolf. And I'm there a half hour, 45 minutes before the show, and I see them way out, like 150, 175 yards out, they're building this little platform. And I go, what's that for? He goes, that's the stage. And I go, that's the stage? I go, these people are 175 yards away from the thing. He goes, oh, we're going to televise it. So, and this place is packed.
Dude, no.
This place is packed.
No.
It's packed. And so
with people that are not the charity?
No. It's all the charity. There are people, all the bays are filled. I mean, two levels up, the bays are filled. And I was like, there's probably 1,000 people there. And I was like, I was like, dude, you got to be kidding me. Like, I'm going to go 175 yards out and do this show. And comedy's not about like...
No, you need everybody.
Yeah.
You need engagement.
Yeah, you need engagement. And there's like... And so I go there, and I was like, all right, well, it was a lot of money. Let's just say it was a lot of money. So I was like, well, sometimes you got to take a hit, Sometimes you just got to take a hit. And as I'm starting to go now, are you now?
I cannot believe this.
Now you're cool.
I'm like here, and I'm not there, but I feel heavy.
Now, what's even crazier is at one point I'm walking through, and one of the bays is full of nuns,
dude.
And I go, I thought you said this was going to be... He goes, oh, no, they're fine with it. And I go, no, sir. I don't think they will be.
They're cool
And I said, if you've heard my act, they're not going to be cool. And so I bit the bullet. Now, this was hands down the worst 45 minutes of comedy I've ever experienced. But what made it even worse is it was a 3-second delay. So what I was saying into the microphone didn't translate back on the video until 3 seconds. I did 45 minutes.
I don't even know how you could do that.
And it was 45 minutes. And then the best part of the whole night is I walked back head in hand because first of all, you couldn't hear anything. If anybody did laugh, I never would have known.
I'd have gone around the net to the parking lot, out the back.
And then I walked through, And two of the nuns came out and said, "Oh, that was very funny. We had such a good time."
That's shocking, dude.
And I was like, "All right, last
like
time I'm taking advice from Rob Riggle."
Ever.
That's all I'm saying.
Dustin Nickerson always says he calls it because we text. There's a bunch of comics that will text each other about how the shows are bad or how the situation is not good. This crowd is whatever. We all were talking about it with each other. He said he calls it a brown bag of money. He said, what city was that in?
Kansas City.
He goes, would you fly to Kansas City to pick up a brown bag of money with $10,000? You go, yeah. He's like, that's what you're doing. Nice. And you, whatever, 45 minutes. But then you just have to get through that somehow and then try to not relapse when you get home.
Do you think you have the record for furthest distance between you and an audience as a comedian?
100% I have to.
I mean,
the only way that somebody could beat me if somebody went to the 200-yard marker on that thing.
Was there even a thought of crowd work?
Crowd work?
Like can you see the nuns? Like they're in front of you like a clue board?
No, because I wear glasses. Dude. I wear glasses, and I didn't bring my glasses, so I couldn't.
21.
I could barely. There was a guy standing in front of me with a camera that was like filming me for the live TV.
Oh
thing.
yeah, he had to be there,
and that was the only guy that was out there,
dude. Tell him to if you put like 8 people on chairs in front of you, you could do it.
Why wouldn't they put chairs out there?
I should ask for the 8 nuns to sit in front
of me.
Or
like, just let me get booth 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah.
Just put them here.
Were they hitting balls at you or no? Like, were they still playing while you were out there or no?
Actually, that would have been entertaining.
That would have been better.
I would have preferred it if they would have been hitting balls at me. Is it okay if I put my feet?
Yeah, I mean, you're good. Make yourself at home. My goodness. I mean, we had one of our.
Well, I mean, you could put your new square-toed boots in your
No, just one of the children we sponsor from a third world country actually kind of designed that and sent it over. But no, put your dunks up on there. That's fine.
The dunks were made by children too, to be fair.
Oh yeah, so, that's fair. Actually, good point. Now let's see. I mean, I've been in cities with doing shows. I mean, at the beginning where you just go, they see your Instagram and they go, hey, do that at my kid's karate themed birthday, and you go. I always measure it like what's her name? Shout out. Thomas Rhett's wife, that she was Lauren. They were like, hey, come do comedy for my like birthday party. Lauren, come do comedy for my like sister's birthday or something like that. And I was like, well, I love to do comedy, of course. We like to make people laugh. Where? She goes, well, in our living room. And I go, man, like for both of our sake, let's not do this. Like, we're not even going to discuss like money or schedule because this is going to go bad. Like,
everybody says the same thing. I've had people ask me like, "Oh, my boyfriend's birthday. He loves you.
Yes,
come do the show." And I was like, "No."
But I always, we like to do comedy? Yes. Do we like to make money? Yes. Do we like to make people laugh? Yes. But I always go, would Kevin Hart succeed here? No, Kevin Hart would not have succeeded at TopGolf. So you go, this is an impossibility to do. But it's always like, I don't know why, because if you're a company and you have a Christmas party, you can't do music, because that's like, all right, everybody be quiet. We got to listen to this for 90 minutes. You can't do that. You can't do, like, you can do like a poker night or like a magic.
Well, I think music is the best thing you can do, because you don't have to sit and pay attention.
Yeah.
You can listen to it. You can mull around people. You can listen. I think music is absolutely the best thing you can do.
For like a cup, because you're trying to bring everybody together.
You're trying to bring everybody. I think music is the best thing. And I mean, have somebody play an acoustic show that would be amazing.
What's it called? Yeah. You know what comedy I think requires? We should
silence.
Well, yes, but we should add this to some kind of list or something. It does, like other things, it does require consent. You know?
Well, that's true.
Like other things.
No, it's just like you should be like, you should have consented. Like, if you consent to this and you're at the comedy club, it's on. and it's the best.
Well, that's
because you've come here. Like there was a guy in front of my show that was this weekend that was he couldn't talk. He like didn't have a thing. I don't know.
Was he in a handicap seat?
No,
I'm just asking.
No,
Fair question.
No, he was like, I get it. And his wife was like, he can't talk. He has, and I was like,
was it that quiet in your show that you could hear that guy talk that low?
He's heckling you. It's that guy.
He's like, everybody else is like, we can hear him fine.
It's like, that's not funny. That's not funny.
He was like, he had like a, no, it was
and
like,
then at one point he goes, thank you.
then he took the mic and he started. Now his wife was like, he has like his voice box is like gone or something like that. It wasn't like he had a disability and I was like, well, then I go, well, you talk for him. And then it's like, all right, if you have, and you sat here at this comedy club, if like you came into somebody's business and they were like, that's the problem with like corporate comedies. They were like, I just work here. I'm kind of required to come to this Christmas
I'm being held
party.
hostage. That's the
and
thing.
then you get made fun of. Then you're like, dude, I didn't even ask. But if you come to the comedy show and sit up front, everybody's like, I can't believe, because I was roasting him. I was like, he can't talk back, dude. I can say whatever I want. And he was dying. Everybody was dying. And they were after the show. They're like, I can't believe you talked to that guy like that. I go, no, he said he was down for that when he came here.
I agree with you 100% because if you buy a ticket for a comedy show, you're there. That's why you're there.
Yeah,
that's what you've come for. Like it or not, like the comedian or not, and that's fine. If you don't like every comedian on the show, that's fine.
Fine, yeah,
that's fine.
You're still there, yeah.
But that's what you signed up for.
To come,
you go to a corporate event, or you go to. I did a birthday party in like Waxhaw, North Carolina once.
Oh yeah,
and the guys.
I think I did it the year after you.
The guy's like a huge fan, and it was really good money.
Yeah,
and it was in his backyard, and they had a stage set up with lights. I mean, they did it right.
Yeah.
But still, it's like, I mean, they had a poster, like when you walked in, like at 8 p.m., Cort McCown, da-da-da-da-da.
Gosh.
And still, I mean, there was probably 50, 60 people there, and it was still painful.
Horrible.
It was painful.
Brian Regan says, he goes, for what you're agreeing to do a certain amount of time for a certain amount of money. And he goes, I think I heard him on a podcast one time. He goes, you can't be like 10 minutes in, be like, hey, everybody, this is not going well. How about y'all head to the bar, talk amongst yourself. I'm going to go home. Like you can't do, you can't do that.
It's a conversation you're trapped in. Like you can't
get
this
out
isn't
of
going
it.
well. I'm
Yeah,
gonna get out
yeah.
of here.
Well,
See ya.
Hey,
like
I hear
when you're
what's
on
going on
stage,
here. I'm out.
Yeah.
Well, like when you're on stage and it's not going well, you've experienced that, I'm sure. And we've all experienced it. I didn't mean that. That wasn't a dig.
Yes, it was.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't.
You get it, John. You get it. Oh, yeah,
No,
yeah.
but any comedian that's successful has failed.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
no
That's true.
such
Yeah.
thing
Yeah.
as you every time you crushed.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like so. There's times you've failed, and what makes a good comic better is you power through it. And you just go through it.
Yeah, I guess.
And the truth is that when you're in these corporates, all you're doing is powering through the worst set of your worst half hour, your worst 45 minutes. It's not that you stop doing your material.
Yeah, yeah.
You just stop expecting anybody to appreciate it.
You just go into your head and just say,
Yeah.
I mean, it's horrible.
You're just reading lines at that point, basically.
Yeah, and it's like at the end, in the back of your mind, you're just hearing the cash register go cha-ching, cha-ching.
Yeah, I don't think
cha-ching,
I heard that when I was
because it's
doing
like
I heard the bell in the back of fourth period now starting. That's what I heard.
Yeah.
I did it. I guess it wasn't. I was at college. It was at noon during finals in the not even the cafeteria, like the coffee shop that people walk by to go to class.
What school were you at?
It was in New York, upstate New York, Johns
Hopkins.
Not Johns Hopkins. That's
For
something
sure
good
not
one.
Johns
no,
Hopkins.
No, definitely not. But the
John Adams.
It was John.
I'm just throwing names out there. John
Who was it?
Wesley
John
Harding.
McEnroe, I think.
John Wesley Harding.
Oh God, what was it? John. The check was taped to
Johnny
the microphone.
Appleseed?
Yeah, that's probably it. Johnny Appleseed. The check was taped to the microphone.
No.
Yes, and with the instructions about how to turn on the microphone.
St. John's.
So, yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it.
St. John's?
Yeah, it's Patino's the coach there, right?
St. John Fisher? No, Paul Smith. Paul Smith. That was the second one. Yeah, that was exactly. I talked about it in my book in rehab. That's what sent me to rehab. Paul Smith. I don't know what he did. Discover America. Come to the Columbus.
The College of the Adirondacks.
That's exactly what it was. Started snowing, and I said, if I go off this road, I don't care. I'm dead. You're laughing, dude.
Is this on your way home from it must have been a good check.
No. All right, Paul Smith, that's exactly what the school was.
Yeah.
I went there, and I got there at like, I don't know, it was at the hall, whatever, the administration hall or whatever. I went in there, and there was like a kid that was in charge of booking the comedy show. He had saw me at like one of those, like NACA or whatever.
Yeah.
Probably the check was good. And by I mean good, I mean $800. Yeah. Like, is that what you're talking about? No. My good was different than your good, I think.
My good has minimum
commas. Yeah, commas. Yeah, see, I didn't have commas in my checks.
Commas, 3 zeros, and a number higher than 4.
That was yeah.
That narrows it down.
You can put on your feet on the table if you got that. I did the show, and then it was snowing all day. I left at like 9, and it was too much snow to drive to anywhere. And I asked the kid if I could stay on the couch, and he said no. I have to lock this. And he sent me out into the snow. I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious, dude. And this like pimply faced like 17-year-old kid was like, "You got to get out of here." And I
just want to know how bad was his set? Because you can't even sleep on the couch.
There was
it's like you ate it worse than a couch.
Well,
person.
Surely there was like a girl that was like, "That was unbelievable. Like, come hang out with us." No, there was not, dude. There was not.
There was like, that's an extra 15 cents for the milk in the cafeteria.
And I went, and so I started. I couldn't stay. I was like, he's like, the town was like, I don't know, 20 minutes or something.
And you're driving through the mountains.
Back to the interstate. You're back. It was in the Adirondacks, which is, and then they go, well, there's a lodge, a ski lodge, like 20 minutes down. And I didn't have a phone. I talk about this in my book. I didn't have a phone because my phone was dead. So I was driving. He's like, literally go that way. Driving, and I couldn't see 5 feet in front of me. And I was like going fast. And I was so sad from that show. I was like, that was the only show I ever cussed. I was so in such a dark place.
Planned or out of frustration?
Out of frustration. Nice.
How frustrated do we have to get John to get him to cuss? This is what I want to.
You don't think this is funny?
This is a new goal of mine. This is a new goal of mine now.
No, you played golf with me. You know how. Then I got. Then I was driving, and I go. That's the only time I thought in my life. I was like, if this thing goes off the road, I don't care. Y'all are laughing, dude.
Because you didn't go off the road. If you went off the road, we wouldn't laugh as hard.
I didn't go off the road.
But we would.
Not at first,
not at first.
Yeah.
But you're
dude,
here.
I got to this lodge or whatever. I was like, is there a room? Like I'm Joseph and Mary. I was like, is there a room? No, not to. Hold on. Not to compare myself. I go, is there like a room? Is there any room in the inn? That's literally what I asked. And they were like, I guess. And I didn't have a phone. So I paid the guy because I had to get up. I had Denver Comedy Works the next night. I had to fly all the way back to Denver because I couldn't route things. Now it's go to like Greenville, Savannah. It makes sense. Now it was just like fly. If you can get there, take it. And I had to get up at 4 a.m. and I paid the guy $20 to come knock on my room to wake me up.
You didn't have a phone charger?
No, I didn't have a phone. My phone died.
Dude, that sounds like the worst weekend of all time.
But the next show was unreal, and that's how it is. Dude.
Any show after that is
after TopGolf, I bet that next show was fire. You live by the sword, die by the sword.
I didn't work for years after that. No.
You didn't?
No, I'm just kidding.
175 yards out. I still can't get over that.
It was. I have a photo of it somewhere.
That's like my.
Just.
It's just like It's like what?
That's crazy. 175 yards out, being like a pitching wedge away from me. No, nobody's gonna get that joke. Nobody's gonna get that joke except another golfer. That'd be an unbelievable distance.
He's insinuating that he can hit a pitching wedge 175 yards.
I can't.
Which is no.
Mm-hmm. I might be able to. No, I can't. No, I can't actually.
Not even downhill with the wind. But go ahead,
bro. Miracle made, everybody. Did you know that your temperature at night can have one of the greatest impacts on your sleep quality? All right, nobody's going to respond to that. That's fine. If you wake up too hot or too cold, I highly recommend you check out Miracle Made's bed sheets inspired by NASA. Miracle Made uses silver-infused fabrics to make temperature-regulated bedding so you can sleep at the perfect temperature all night long. That's a song Easton doesn't know about. Did you know that traditional bed sheets can harbor more bacteria than a toilet seat? What? It can lead to acne, allergies, and stuffy noses, and it's just gross. Miracle Made offers a whole line of self-cleaning, eco-friendly bedding, such as sheets, pillowcases, comforters that prevent 99% of bacteria and requires 3 times less laundry. I woke up on Miracle Made sheets, bump, this morning. Self-cooling properties for better quality sleep, self-cleaning, comfort, and quality design for your skin. Stop sleeping on bacteria. It can clog your pores, causing breakouts, acne. Sleep clean, baby. That's how you need to start waking up. I was going to say next to me, but not next to me. Like me. Wake up like me.
Yes.
Wake up next to me in theory.
Sure.
Yeah, with the same ideology.
Yeah.
Because of the way you sleep. Go to trymiracle.com. Nobody? All right, that's fine. And that's fine. You know, you can't win them all. You can't bat 1,000. Trymiracle.com/netpositive to try Miracle Made sheets today. And whether you're buying them for yourself or as a gift for a loved one, if you order today, you can save over 40% and use our promo Net Positive at checkout, and you'll get 3 free towels and save an extra 20%. Savings everywhere. Miracle Made is so confident in their product, it's backed with 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you aren't 100% satisfied, you'll get a full refund. Upgrade your sleep with Miracle Made, baby. Go to trymiracle.com/netpositive and use the code NETPOSITIVE to claim your 3 free-piece towel set. Unbelievable. And save over 40%. Again, trymiracle.com/netpositive or hit the link in the description below and treat yourself, baby. Well, we made it out somehow. When did you get, I was looking on your Instagram this morning. What are you, 12 years sober?
23.
23.
Close.
I missed I'm anorexic. I get the numbers switched up. But, really, guys? All right. No, that's fine. That's fine. No, all right. That's like the TopGolf show. That's fine. That's fine.
There's just a 3-second delay.
You do
That's
a joke,
all that was.
and nobody gets it. But all right. What
is that some of that college material there?
I did that joke.
I did notice you referenced your book twice in that story, though.
Twice.
Gotta get it plugged.
Yeah.
Of
Because it's such a wild story that I was like,
Yeah.
That is
Okay.
crazy, dude.
No,
Yeah.
23 years.
Congrats.
All right, so you kept your sobriety after the TopGolf show?
I didn't start
the
doing
most wild part about it.
I didn't start doing stand up until after I got sober.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you think you could have been more successful if you started before?
I don't know. I'm not
Let me
that
think.
funny, so I don't know that it's.
Let me think if I was funnier before or after I got sober. I think irrelevant. I think if I was whatever I was, that's what I was.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things where I was in, I had done television and film. I did that for a good part of my life. And then I had always wanted to do stand-up my entire life. From like high school, college. I was such a huge comedy fan.
Yeah.
And
Saw some of my reels or?
No. And I mean, I lived like really close to the Comedy Store. I used to go to the Comedy Store all the time in the 80s when the Comedy Store was like huge. And like Kinnison was there. It was like, and I knew Pauly Shore when Pauly, before even MTV. Wow. My next door neighbor was a guy named Donovan Leach. And Donovan and Pauly went to high school together. They knew each other their whole lives. And that's how I knew Pauly. I actually went to the Comedy Store main room for Pauly's inaugural, the Totally Pauly, the very first show.
90s?
The first show he ever did.
Wow.
So then they premiered it on MTV.
Yeah.
And then he became huge. I remember seeing Pauly at the Comedy Store, and this was probably 1986. Pauly was a monster.
Yeah.
He was such a, I mean, he still is a good comedian.
Yep.
I'm not saying he's not. I'm just saying but he was huge.
Pauly
Dude,
Shore.
Yeah, he would. I remember going there and you'd see like I mean, Paul Mooney. You'd see all these legends up on stage, and Pauly would come out, and he just would destroy it.
Really?
Yeah, just destroy it. And it was before the wheeze and any of that stuff. You know,
the
it was
whistle.
Yeah, but I always
Explain
wanted
to
to
Easton who Pauly Shore is. We got to do this.
Yeah,
It's the DJ guy, isn't it?
what's that? Yeah,
DJ Pauly D.
yeah. Oh my goodness.
We have this ongoing thing with him because he doesn't know anything we ever talk about because he's like 19.
How old are you?
22.
Yeah,
You know who Pauly Shore is?
No.
that's okay. Sooner or later,
We explained to him last week what a radio was.
Okay, that was unsolicited. I knew what a radio was.
He doesn't know. Yeah, Pauly Shore is a... Dude, I had a show with Pauly. Sorry, are you done with it?
No,
yeah.
go ahead.
I had a show with Pauly at Looney's in Colorado Springs. I was local, and Pauly requested a clean opener because I think he was pretty dirty. So he wanted as I understood it, he was going to be the first guy to cross those topics. So he didn't want an opener deal, which is logical. So after the show, he goes, well, I have Comedy Works in Denver tomorrow night. Can you give me a ride for and that's like kind of what the opener has to do. Kind of like, I don't know. Like I remember a couple times when the opener was like, hey, or the headliner was like, what's his name? The guy from Full House.
Bob Saget.
Yeah. He was like, hey, can you go to the crowd and bring those girls back? Not for anything weird, but he's like, good go. And that's kind of what, is that fair to say?
Yeah, 100% fair.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because he's like, "Hey, go grab them." And I was
I mean, he's passed on, so
yeah. I didn't know
he
what
can't
I
defend
didn't-
himself.
Yeah.
at this point, so
Yeah.
it's not like he can defend himself.
Can't confirm nor deny.
Just go ahead. Just go ahead. Just disparage his name all you want. Yeah, he's gone.
Here's a shovel, man. Throw some more
Yeah.
dirt on that.
Yeah.
Good.
Bob Saget, one of the most beloved comedians ever, all time. You know, legend. But go ahead. Talk about how he would have you go and bring trollops backstage. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I think just
Can't defend himself.
to not for just as because they were fans.
Yeah,
Just they wanted to
of course.
to say
Sure.
hi. That's what I was gonna say. What are y'all talking
Naturally.
about?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
What I was saying is that's kind of the thing that the opener would do. Is that fair? The
Sure.
opener has to do.
He's like, actually, I requested the 175-yard buffer for that reason.
Yeah,
Just
it's
to,
wild. So he goes, so I grew up in church and everything was very respectful and you always follow the rules and stuff. And this is just when I had started comedy because I lived in Colorado Springs, and I drove Pauly Shore, and he was with someone. I don't know. I'm nervous to say that. In my Honda Civic, what's it called? A two-door. Not a
coupe.
A coupe.
Yeah.
I had to pull the seat up so this 10 of a woman had to get in the back, which I was like, I'm poor. I don't think you understand. I don't.
Are there
But
water
you
bottles
drove
at her
him.
feet?
You drove him to Denver. Did he ask you to open for him in Denver?
No.
He just needed the ride.
Wow. Wow.
Now that I think about it, he didn't.
Did you clean out your car before?
No, I always keep my car clean. My car's
She
always
wasn't
clean.
kicking around at water bottles and everything in the back?
Nah, I don't. No, she was in the back.
Yeah.
But this is the first time. What I only remember about it. Yeah, dude, he did. I think he paid me, but there was no Uber or you couldn't get a cab.
Right.
Yeah.
And the hotel was up there, so it was no way.
Yeah.
This is the only way for him to get up there.
This is a very nice thing to do.
That's really my point of it.
What was the car ride like? Radio? No radio?
Let me ask. You,
no.
let me ask you another question. Did he talk to you at all on the ride,
Well, one time he.
or did he just talk to the girl behind him?
He asked. No, they both sat in the back. No, she's gonna have I was like Uber. Dude, they both sat in the back of a coupe. Is crazy. Okay, so the only thing I remember, the point of this story is that he's like, I have to go to the bathroom, and I was like, okay, and he goes, pull off. I go to a exit or a gas station. He goes, just pull off right here, and I pulled off on the interstate, and he got out and went to the bathroom. He peed
On the shoulder?
Yes, and I was like, this is awesome. That was the first time I was ever dude, this is illegal and this is awesome. Or I thought that's when a comic comics all be breaking the rules.
Just how old were you?
I mean, I was 24. 24, 25.
24. You and I have led very different lives.
Yeah, well, clearly. 26.
Being outside, dude.
He was like, I was like, dude, you don't even care if like cops or like, that was just so far beyond the bounds of like what is allowed. I was like, dude, we're like living.
Did he walk to the tree line or
No,
he just
right there. Like that's a guy that.
Did you take a peek?
No, dude, he's facing the other way. Dude. But I go, oh, this is awesome that we like can do whatever we want. That's what I remember thinking at the time. Like, dude, we're such like
amazing,
rebels
dude.
or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah. Was that kind of you had the same stories?
100%.
Yeah, back before you got sober. Yeah.
Yeah.
Same type story.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
No, but he was. Yeah, one time he said I should. We were in the Stardome in Birmingham or something like that. Mm-hmm. No, he did request me because I did a couple shows with him. He must have requested me. Or maybe I called the club.
He's a sweetheart.
Yeah,
known him forever.
Yeah.
He's a guy. He's actually in Nashville this weekend. Yeah. I don't know when this comes out.
I'd love to hear his side of that car ride.
He goes, "Who's that?"
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he would say. 100%.
He's like, when, where?
I was doing
I
what?
don't remember.
But the crowd was going like you too. The crowd was going nuts.
Yeah.
The crowd was going nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good for him. No, but then I think I got sober the day after that. No, just kidding. Yeah.
That was enough.
Yeah.
That was too much for you.
I was like, dude, this is wild, dude. This is wild. No, I mean, yeah, I don't know how if a comedian makes it through that stage to the other side. Remember, were we at open mic night the other night?
Yeah.
And I was like, this is terrifying. And I was like, I want to go out there and tell all those comedians to not do it. But now we made it. We're on the other side of it.
But it's funny is by the time I did stand up, I had done theater. I'd done, I did a 5-6 month run of a theater show where, being on stage in front of people was like no big deal to me.
Yeah,
like that didn't affect me at all.
Yeah.
So when I started doing stand up, I started
on third base.
I mean, I don't know if that would be fair, but I mean, it's all about the writing. I'm still a horrible writer. I'm just a lazy writer. That's the
truth. If you didn't take my advice on some of the topics I give you, I said you should build that one out.
Excuse me?
Nah, just getting right.
The energy of this episode is so interesting.
You can build that one out, but you don't do it. That's fine.
But so I don't know. It's like when I always wanted to do it. I started it and I was like, let's see how this goes. And it went pretty good. And then, I started doing set shows on Sunday nights at the Comedy Store, and then Sunday nights, then Mondays, then Wednesdays. And, and then just built, that was kind of my club, but also it was an opportunity at the time because the Comedy Store was not what it is today.
Yeah.
It was dead back then. It was in a really, really dark time.
Oh yeah, and that's part of town too.
Yeah. Well, that part of town's the Sunset Strip's always been the way it is.
Yeah.
But it just was an opportunity where I got to perform a lot and kind of build. And then, I started my own show, and then
Cort McCown and Friends.
No, I started a show with another friend of mine, this guy, Paul. And Paul and I started a show, and then we ended up getting our own show in Vegas.
Yeah.
So I did a show in Vegas for 9 years. And then, and it was great. And it was like, and I didn't live in Vegas. So I would just fly to Vegas on Thursday and fly home on Sunday. And
for 9 years?
For 9 years. So the first 3 years, the first 2 years was once a month. The second 2 years was twice a month. And then I think it was the fourth or fifth year we started every week, Thursday through Sunday.
Gosh,
wow.
Dude.
But it was great. I mean,
at no point you were like, I should move here.
No. And never, and sober the entire time. Never took.
You gamble?
No, not a big gambler.
Dang.
But the funny thing is I've never done stand up ever while intoxicated.
Oh, yeah, me neither.
Yeah. It's just that thing. It's like I've never.
It's a better high than any other high anyway.
Yeah, I don't know how anybody. I mean, I shouldn't say I don't know how anybody could do it, but I mean the way that I was as a drinker and stuff, it would not have been
Oh, it would have gone bad.
it would not have been a viable situation.
That would have been a long-term option.
Yeah,
But I think everybody, like if you were saying you used to go to the Comedy Store, and Alex, maybe you can. All right. So when I go to a NASCAR race, or I have a racing team, they're like, "Do you want to do it?" And honestly, I do not. Do you want to get in the car? He's like, "Do you want to take it for a spin? Do you want to?" I go, "I don't. I like to watch it. I love to watch."
You would not take one of those cars for a spin?
I have no interest in doing
it. Now, would I be in a race? No, not in a million years. But would I take that car on a few laps around the track? Yes,
I got no interest. To be like, so when you were going to comedy.
So do you think if I like put on some square-toed boots, black shirt and black hoodies, that if I went there and go, "My name's John Crist and I want to take a ride in this car because this is my race team," they'd let me?
They'd let you. Yeah, if he says, "Yeah, I got a text from him. He said I can do it." Yeah, they'd let you.
We got to do that.
I don't have any interest in, like, if you go to do you think, because you were going to the Comedy Store a bunch, we always wanted to do it.
Yeah.
Do you think people that are at a comedy show are thinking to themselves, or maybe it's a man thing, as a male, I could do that. And the best in the business, look at Nate or somebody like that, it looks so easy. It looks so easy. Do you think someone that's sitting in the crowd goes,
"Oh, I guarantee you there are people
I want to do it, or I wish I could do it"?
See, to me, first of all, it's like if you're a couple and you go to a comedy show,
yeah,
it is the best date you can ever take anybody on. If you're on a first date, second date, third date, whatever, it's the best date you can go on. First of all,
whose show?
It does. I don't think it matters.
Okay,
I don't think it really matters.
Open mic night?
No,
It's just got to be good.
It's just a good show. And the point I'm trying to make, it's not about that. It's like that. First of all, you can see what kind of sense of humor that person has.
Yep.
You can get an idea of what their what their balance is.
Yep.
You can get an idea of that. One is you're seeing if they even have a sense of humor.
Yeah.
Because I think it's so important. But you get to go and you get to be entertained. Now, the greatest movie you've ever seen, the funniest movie you've ever seen. Think about that. In that movie, you probably laugh out loud maybe 5-6 times.
Yep.
I mean, really laugh.
I'm
talking about that. Now, you even go to a bad comedy show.
Yep.
You're going to laugh 20, 25 times, even on some jokes that maybe aren't that, But the point I'm trying to make is it's so much more entertaining and uplifting to go to a comedy show and laugh than it is to go anywhere.
Yeah.
And it's like, and then you leave there with your date in a great mood.
Oh, you're on 10. You're flying.
Yeah. So it's like, so the comic's already done most of the work for you. It's like I've already put, so it's just, I think it's a great way to do it.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's any such thing as necessarily, there's bad comedy shows, I'm sure, but for the most part, I did a Don't Tell the other night and there was probably 35 people in a small, not much bigger than this studio.
So no one told.
Nobody told.
Oh,
and
okay. No, they're not going to get that joke.
Nobody told. Don't tell. Nobody told.
They didn't.
It's called Don't Tell. That's like
somebody whispered.
Turns out no one did.
They didn't. Yeah.
Somebody whispered
Don't
to somebody.
tell.
Yeah.
Got it. We didn't.
Got the assignment.
Don't clip that.
Nailed
Don't
it.
clip that.
Okay, yeah.
But it was actually really good.
Don't worry, we won't.
We didn't.
But it's good. But
it was great. It was
of course,
great.
Dude, and it was probably whatever weird venue they always have those in, but it was awesome.
It was awesome.
I've been to a couple of them, and they're awesome. I
And
haven't
it
been
was
on them,
like-
too scared, but I've been to them.
But they're fantastic, and it's just like
Everybody leaves going, "What's up? This is unbelievable."
yeah, it's so fun.
Jokes
And-
for Humans tour is kicking off in 2 weeks. I was going to read the dates.
By the
but-
way, yeah.
What's that?
This is like a huge promo for a comedy show, but that's honestly how I feel. Yeah.
I do think a lot of dudes are in the audience thinking they can do it.
Okay, you do.
I do think that. Just to
Easton, you
bring it
think
back
the
to
same?
that, I do think so.
That they go, all right. I would not want to go with Lydia to Well, let me think. I have gone to another comedy show.
It's different because you do it, though. It's what you do. It's your craft. So
I cannot. It's difficult for me to go. I can go to a comedy show.
With a woman?
No. I can go to a comedy show and I can watch a good comic. I can even go watch. I can go watch comedy.
We've been together for a couple.
Yeah, I have no problems going and doing that. I just can't go sit in the audience.
Oh yeah.
And watch a show.
You watch in the back.
I'll watch in the back. I'll go around where I can walk and I can move, but to sit.
I've done it like twice. I can't do it either.
What is it? Why?
Like you're saying, like, hey, somebody's like, I got tickets. We're sitting. We're like, we're participating in this.
No.
What bothers you though? Like, why?
It's not. This is not about bothering me. It's just that I have been doing comedy for almost 23 years, and it's like, do you know how many sets of comedy I've seen? I mean, I mean, it's like, I have seen.
You have to be able to
thousands and thousands of comedy sets, thousands. And it's just difficult. It's just difficult. Like we went to, Bill Burr was doing Bridgestone. Bill's one of my favorite comics, and I love watching Bill work. But it's like, I can't go sit. I had to sit on the side of the stage, and I even left a bit and kind of walked around. And is one of the best in the business. I love Nate. Nate's one of my all-time favorites, and it's like, and I can go watch Nate for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and I love watching the show. Like I'll watch his full special, sit at home and watch it on TV, but that's different. I can't go sit in a crowd, like sit in the audience and pretend like I don't know what's going. It's kind of like watching a magician do magic. It's like know what the tricks, you know what's going on. And it's a little harder to.
Have you ever seen my show?
Yeah.
When?
Not your full 1 hour show?
Yeah.
Oh God, no. I don't think I could do that.
He's like, I've seen the clips. I've seen the clips, and
I'm just kidding. You set yourself up for that.
I did that on purpose.
You set yourself up for that.
An hour, dude. Yeah.
Oh God, no. No.
Yeah, I think when you come into the show,
it's just hard. It's hard to do it. It's hard to watch.
After he goes, dude, going to a comedy with like a girl's the best thing ever. And then he
no,
goes,
I'm saying,
I don't do it. Yeah, I don't do it. No. I don't.
Do you think it's like? Do you think actors have a hard time watching movies?
100%.
Because they just know what's happening behind the scenes.
I've done a few films and I can't watch myself.
Got it.
I can't stand to do
I'm
it.
gonna pull up the Cort McCown IMDb.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, you don't need to pull that up. There's not that much on there, really.
Oh, you can't. Yeah, I think it's. I bet every profession doesn't want to take part in the rest of the other people doing their profession.
Yeah.
It's not fun. It's not fun to watch. It's fun to watch a comic go up that's like I remember watching Bill build up some, like when I was at the Comedy Store, when I was back there, you watch comics come up and they're only doing 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So 15 minutes you can watch, we all sit in the back and watch.
You watch the worst comic for 15. That's a long 15
and
minutes,
it's like, and I remember, Chappelle would come in all the time and he would come in late at night. Yeah.
He's never heard of him, probably.
Probably not.
Oh, come on. I know who Dave Chappelle is, bro.
You do know who Dave Chappelle is.
I know who Dave Chappelle is.
You elitist, little elitist young man there.
One time I did a show with Larry the Cable Guy, and this girl was like, "Oh, I know that guy he's the voice of Mater from Cars." I go, "We're done."
Oh boy.
Meaning like that's how she knew of Larry the Cable Guy.
Yeah.
I go, "No, the comedian." No.
How do you think he got that role?
He goes, "I didn't know he was a comedian." I go,
"Yeah."
All right. Sorry, go ahead. You're saying you're watching him do 15?
Yeah, watching people do 15, watching them build stuff up. And it's amazing to watch guys do that because it changes from one night to the next night. And it's like, and I mean, Chappelle would come in and do, an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And I love Chappelle, but 20 minutes in, I'd be like, I'm out. That's
it.
It. That's all I can do.
It's the difference between like watching them as a co-worker, like I'm watching you work on your craft versus I'm watching you perform from an audience perspective.
Right. Like I remember
watching performance is hard.
I remember when Chris Rock before he did his tour, which it was after he hosted the Oscars, he went on this big long tour. But I remember when he he hadn't done stand-up in a while. And so what he did is he booked all these clubs, like it was in Charlotte. And I remember going, and he literally had stuff on a teleprompter. He had premises on a teleprompter on the stage.
Yeah.
And he would just, and he was working it. And so he even prefaced it when you bought tickets to the show that you were watching him
Figure it out.
Yeah. And so it's like, I remember we went 2 different nights to watch it, and they were 2 completely different shows.
Yeah.
The same premises.
Yeah.
So it was the same stuff. Now, some of the stuff, the jokes he would keep, but what he's got is he's got a guy sitting there, and they're taping it, not filming it, but recording it so that he can go back and listen to it, see what worked, what doesn't work, and that's what's fun to watch.
Yeah.
Somebody work like
see
that.
somebody work that stuff, and to be honest, like I remember seeing his special that he taped that was a year later after that, and there were parts in the show that he did the first time that I liked better than the special.
How they finished up.
Yeah, I like the stuff kind of raw, the more raw version.
Well, I think this is an interesting topic because everybody after a show, a meet and greet in the green room, they always ask about this. Like what I just saw.
How do you come up with your material?
I feel like they were like, what was that? And I feel like comedy is I mean, all the podcasts and all the comedy interviews, comedy is like in the center of like the society and the culture now. And I feel like everybody wants to know what did I just watch? And I think
so what inspired it, or what
how did what I just saw for the last hour was and I'm not trying to gas myself up, was unbelievable. Is that they're asking about it?
Like, how's the sausage made?
So if you go to a football game, you're not like that. I mean, you go, is that? Did you make that up? Is that? Did you come up with that? Are you moving that around? Was that guy the guy that couldn't talk? What was that? Did you know he was that? I go, no, that was just off the cuff. But the rest of it, are you like? I have like bullet points like race, immigration, my mom.
So what point? So do you put like for example, like when you're climbing on the stool, is that like because you were reaching for something on top of the refrigerator? Is that what? I'm sorry,
dude. That's that funny, bro.
He waited that whole time to drop that too. He waited like 5 minutes, just ready with the stool line. Yeah,
the wheels were turning. You saw it,
just waiting. He said, for example, 5 minutes ago, and then just waited.
That's why I write that in.
Yeah.
Climb on stool.
Climb stool.
After mom premise, growing up in church, climb on stool. It's part of the
thing. Okay.
Yeah, sometimes people go, did you, like if I would kick the stool out of the way, or if I did talk to somebody, what they always want to know, like behind the curtain or whatever.
I don't think it became even like known to as many people as it is now. And I still don't think most comedy fans understand really like what goes into a 60-minute set.
Yeah.
I think it's just started to come out of like, oh, this guy's not just up there hanging out. Like this is a
but if
performance
if
that
he's
is
good
crafted.
at it, you would think he's
absolutely.
Up there hanging
That's
out.
the point, right?
Yeah. And they were like, if you come to the 8 o'clock and then the 9:30 show, they're like, is it different?
Right.
I go, well, it's not the same. And if you come to a show a year later, it's going to be all different. But I would imagine we'd talk about I think you're working on things, you're building things, and I think that's fascinating to people because if you experience something that is so. We went to House of Cards, that Magic, and I go. I was telling Lydia when we were leaving, I go, I just want to think that it was that.
Yeah.
I don't want to know. I go, I can't believe he pulled that coin out of his ear.
Oh, I see. I've seen some great
Do you want to know how?
No. The only time I was ever like I like them like close up magic when they do like the stuff, and it's like I can't figure out how
like
they
sleight of hand. How does he do it?
How do they do that? Or like they open up an envelope and it's got like a picture of you in 4th grade. I mean, how they come up with this stuff, I have no idea. but I was at the Magic Castle in Los Angeles, which is it's a magic castle. And they do magic shows in there. And there was a guy in they have like a big showroom. Yeah. And the guy was in there. And at one point his coat went open and you could see the birds upside down in his coat. And I was like, all right, I'm out. Like, that's like, no, you got birds in your coat.
Yeah.
It's not magic. You've got these, because they actually train, they have trained birds that actually sleep upside down inside their coats.
Awesome.
And it's like, and this guy his coat went open. I was like, dude, you got to button the jacket.
Button the jacket.
Like, you got to button the jacket because it went open, and it's like, and I saw all the birds, and I was like, I'm out.
Yeah, you don't want to see.
The illusion's over.
I get that, and I'm with that. I also, though, on the other hand, I'm like, I want to know what goes into making it because it makes it that much more impressive to me. Like back to comedy, knowing what goes into a 60-minute set through knowing John, through knowing comedians, it makes that performance. Oh wow, that's incredible because of what goes into it. If it was just you hanging out freestyling, I'd be like, I mean, yeah, that's cool, and like you're gifted, that's awesome, but. It seems like that's a pretty easy thing to do.
It goes back to the whole thing when you talk about somebody in the crowd says they could, there's probably people in a crowd that could probably go up on stage and make someone laugh for 5 minutes, 4 minutes, whatever. But to make someone laugh for an hour, to make to go up and do, 20 minutes, 25 minutes, is not,
the first time I ever went, it was 90 seconds. It's terrifying.
I'm not one of those guys, by the way.
No,
I have no desire to get out there, dude. That's insane.
Well, I think I was talking about this last night with somebody. There's a comedian that does like his closer is so he's there's women in the front. He goes, "Let me see your purse." Brings it up, right? Goes to the purse and looks through the stuff in there, and it's funny. Goes through. You're like, "What about you?" Goes through that purse, and then he goes. He's like, give me that one there. And he pulls it up and he's like, there's kids that listen to this show, but pulls the wildest things out of this purse. And everyone's like condoms and all kind of like birth control and all kind of wild stuff. And everybody's just, their heads are exploding. You're like, this is the craziest thing I've ever seen. And then it turns out the third purse is a plant. Mm. But if you were there, you go, I cannot, but everybody is, I'm telling you, the roof explodes off this place. And then if you came back to the 9:30 show, imagine how
disappointing it would be.
Oh, God.
But that's the
and that comic is not selling tickets anymore, by the way.
Sure, sure.
By the way, that's the same thing. That's the same thing about being a comic and going to a comedy show. Is that you've seen it. Mm-hmm. You've seen it. It's like you kind of like know, like there'll be some stuff that'll surprise you, a comic will do that like blows you away. But for the most part, you've seen it. There's not.
Or if you go, like, I did. I'll probably post a clip today or tomorrow.
Oh boy.
There was a guy, I was talking about Latinos or I think I was talking about the border, actually.
Oh,
no,
man.
hold on. What?
Go ahead.
No,
go ahead.
I go, is there any Latinos
just
in the crowd?
be careful where you're wearing square-toed boots talking about the border.
Yeah. I said, I go, is there any Latinos in the crowd? The guy goes, hola, or something like that. And it was immediately everybody was dying. And then I was like, talk to you. I go, what's your name? He goes, Martin. I go, all right, it's all white people. You can just say Martin. It's fine. And everybody was dying. And then I go, I swear, dude, if you say you're with a white woman named like Beth or something, you are out, we're kicking you out of the show. I go, what's your wife's name? He goes, Margaret. And everybody hit the ceiling. But you're like, I know from my shows that odds are he's with a white wife. Because that's my demographic. So that kind of situation has happened to me before. And so you're like, I can't believe he just made that up. You're like, well, I did and I didn't. But that's what people want to know.
Yeah.
What did you plant that guy? I go,
100%.
no.
Right.
Do you travel? Does Martin do all your shows, or
Most of it, if he's free. Yeah. And we did this whole thing, and he's like, Martin. And I go,
Martin,
it's hilarious. Yeah, everybody loves it.
Would it bug you if it became really popular to plant stuff like that as comedians? Would that bug you guys?
Yeah. But I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
But
Like if it was
but the other
successful.
thing. The other thing
that
that's
you would want to
You'd want to expose it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's.
But
fake.
the other thing is that's become so much more popular now is posting tons of crowd work clips, and it's like because it's like, now this is a great example. This is it's a great show. It's an hour show, and he's just posting something that happened at the show.
That's so kind, dude.
As opposed to
Thanks, man.
people that are literally posting their whole thing is they just do crowd work.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, and a lot of people are very excited to go see this comedian, and they just do crowd work. And I'm not talking about Matt Rife. Matt Rife just posted a crowd work special.
We love
Matt Rife did an amazing job. If you actually watch that crowd work special he did in Charlotte, it's actually very well done. And it wasn't and it was very well planned out, and he had the themes, and he had, so I'm not dumping on Matt Rife, because that's not what I mean. I just mean you see more and more and more. It's just all this crowd work, and it's like, in people, in it uncomfortable stuff, not really kind of funny, and it's become a big deal, become a big thing to watch these crowd work clips. And I would rather see, something really funny rather than just a crowd work clip. But you post that clip with Martine, I think that'll be good. I love to mess with John.
See.
It's just fun. It's fun.
Says, dude. Yeah.
It's fun.
Oh yeah, baby. When are we doing some shows coming up? Are we? You on the road? If people want to follow you, where do they find you?
I'm going to be.
Where do they find you?
Everything is at Cort McCown, CortMcCown. And I actually am going to be October. I don't know when this comes out, but I think
Next week.
October
Tomorrow.
16th to 20th. I'm at Cherokee Casino in.
That's going to be hard to justify for the Christians. I'll tell you that, going into casino. But
What?
Christians can't go into casinos.
What?
No, I think they can.
Some
Depends.
can.
Yeah, it depends on their denomination.
Yeah.
They just
Depends on
can't
where
be-
you draw
They
that
can't
line.
be gambling. They can't be gambling.
Yeah.
Well, they don't have to gamble.
Well, they have
Just come to the show.
Yeah, that's a gamble in it. Come on, dude. I can't get one in after an hour. I can't get one in.
You got to get in a good one, though. You got to get in a good one. You got to dig.
Oh,
If it's
yeah,
going to
dude.
be,
I bet
do a
it's gamble
dig.
of some sorts.
But if you're going to jump on the stool, jump hard.
Go all the way in.
Jump.
And then me and Cort are down at we're at Zany's in Nashville all the time during the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. If you come by, and we can't listen to people say all the time, like, I'm going to call the club and see like the Comedy All Stars or the New Material Monday. I don't think they'll say who's on the show.
Yeah, I don't
For
think
that
they do.
reason, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah. But come find us, and it's on Instagram,
All of it.
CortMcCown.com. Is that it?
Yeah.
Fine, and we'll see you next week, everybody. Thanks for coming, buddy.
Thanks for having me.
Awesome.
It was a positive. It was a positive. You cannot be serious. On the net, it's a positive.